Alright, so today we had some reveals for the Studio Series, which look very cool. We got Thundercracker from the Bumblebee movie and Galvatron from Age of Extinction. Since Thundercracker is kind of the simplest one to talk about first, I'll look at him, and he looks good. It's what we all pretty much expected, a repaint of the Bumblebee movie Starscream, although he has the Blitzwing head, since in the film, Starscream was the only one that had a different head. But I think he looks good. He seems pretty accurate to what we see on screen, even though what we see on screen is very brief. And I like this mold a lot. That mold for me was one of my biggest surprises last year with Studio Series and kind of Transformers in general. It's very fun. I love the Starscream version. I like the Thrust one a lot. Well, actually, I probably like Thrust more. And this will look good with them, and it'll be cool to have the Seekers in this design. I think they'll all look pretty cool together. Now we'll get to what I consider the more interesting of the two reveals, Galvatron. This one was rumored for a while. I remember it originally being said that Galvatron might not be done just because of how hard this design is to translate into a figure. But then we started hearing that it was gonna happen, and hey, here it is. And you know what? I think he looks pretty good, especially all things considered with the fact that his robot mode has like no truck parts on it in the movie. I think he maybe has those front headlights on the sides of the chest, and that's really it. And I mean, come on, the way he transforms in the movie, I mean, look at this. You can't really replicate that in toy form. The robot mode has some stuff that I am a little iffy on, like the arms seem a bit skinny, the chest seems a bit flat, but otherwise there's not much that really bugs me. Like, yeah, he obviously has more truck parts than the movie design, but that's something that you kind of have to let slide with this guy. Then getting into the truck mode, I think that looks pretty good. There's obviously some mistransformation stuff going on because you can see some parts of the side of the truck not fitting together properly. Plus, when you look at the pictures of the back of the box, you can see that the feet actually fold back so they're not sticking out like that. He will obviously still have some stuff hanging out behind the back of the cab, but it's not going to be sticking out quite like this is showing. So yeah, there's not too much I can really say about the truck mode. Like, it looks fine. It's not bad. To me, it's a pretty average vehicle mode, I guess. Could maybe be a bit better, but again, what this is trying to accomplish at a $30 price point with such a borderline impossible design, I think it works. And that's really my feelings on this guy in general. Obviously, it could be better, but you know, I do think that on the whole, it looks better than the 2014 Age of Extinction Voyager figure. And that's coming from someone that actually liked that figure a good bit. People love to complain that it's a shell former, but I always thought the way that the backpack compressed on that one was pretty cool and worked, especially for the time. Otherwise, the robot mode really just needed some paint because I thought it was decently posable, although the really short thighs got in the way of that to an extent. And the truck mode's good. The truck mode on that one might actually still be a bit better than the Studio Series one, but that one's also not doing as much as this one seems to be doing, so that's kind of whatever to me. And honestly, the Studio Series version seems to share that issue with the Voyager figure of just needing some paint. There is a good bit of silver on this guy, but he just looks a bit bland. And yeah, Galvatron was mostly silver in the movie, but he still had a good bit of like just colors throughout him to kind of break it up a bit. It was like the blues and stuff like that. And I've seen some comments going around of people comparing Unique Toys Nero to this and complaining that this isn't as good as Nero, and I just think that's a terrible comparison to make because you have a $30 mainline figure versus a $150 third-party figure. Granted, I've seen most places have Nero for more than $150, but still, that's what I got it for at the very least. So yeah, I don't really take anyone seriously that tries to complain about this not looking as good as Nero and that third parties did it better. It's like, well, of course they did it better. It's bigger. It doesn't have the budget limitations that this likely has. So anyone trying to use that as a serious knock against this guy, you look kind of dumb. So yeah, on the whole, I am very hyped for these. Galvatron more so than Thundercracker. Well, again, Thundercracker looks cool, but he's a repaint. I'll be very interested to mess with Galvatron and just see how he looks and works in person, because I do think that the pictures on the back of the box look better than the pictures of just the figure. Plus, please, the Fallen is supposed to be in this wave, so please just go ahead and leak him or officially reveal him. I don't care at this point. Just put him out there because I am so hyped for that guy. Plus, I think Dark of the Moon Bumblebee is supposed to be in it as well. Really like to see him, and even though it hasn't been officially revealed, we have seen Sideways, and on the whole, I think he looks pretty good too. So yes, what do you guys think about these reveals? Which one are you most excited for? How do you think Galvatron compares to past figures, whether it's official or third party? Let me know down in the comments. As always, a big thanks to everyone for watching, and have a good one.